Namaste. Welcome. Welcome to this week's weekly address. Sending you all so much love. Hmm. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name's Clayton. I'm the president of the Church of Flames and founder. Uh, and I have an incredible team of people that have really worked so hard in and just put so much time, energy, thought, and loving intention into the creation of this beautiful vessel that we are uh, holding containers in, and are a container for uh, nourishment of community. And so what the Co-Flames, Church of Flames is all about is we are a safe container providing education through arts, wellness, and sustainability for human and planetary evolution. That's what we're all about. And bringing people together to work together in harmony to benefit the all, to create abundance and sustainability for the human race. And with that comes a lot of things. A lot of things. And FLAMES is an acronym for the Church of Fire, Love, Art, Music, Equality, and Sustainability. And these are all things that I'm very passionate about. And each of the letters of the acronym is a seed, and everything is set up in sacred geometry and in seeds and flowers of life. And we're all about sparking flames and turning little sparks into flames and fueling those flames and encouraging people to dream, encouraging people to do what they love, uh, encouraging people and giving them opportunities and different techniques to release shame and judgment and fear and step into and transform those into higher vibrational frequencies of love and compassion and trust and teamwork and really just elevating one another. And we do that by providing experiences and providing opportunities for people to come together and really leading by example and being the change that we want to see in the world. And you don't need to be a member of the Church of Flames in order to be the change that you want to see in the world. You know what? You're in full alignment with our mission. If you be the change that you want to see in the world and grab your brother by the hand and like inspire one another and elevate one another and connect with other like-minded people, and if you're doing that, then you're like doing the same thing we're doing. And the more we do that together, the more people are connecting across the planet, the quicker we can all be holding hands, and the quicker we can all have abundance, and the quicker we can all have all of our basic human needs met by our brothers and sisters on this planet, standing up and being. We are powerful beings. We are creators. And when we gather as communities and start working from a space of love, and we drop our ego and we drop the me game, and we start playing the we game and the I game, because I am accountable and operating from a space of accountability versus a victim state, uh, nurturing life and creating abundance instead of scarcity. Then all of a sudden we're really living in a much, much better world with our lifestyles and our, like, uh, so much elevated. So elevated. We have, as a human race, kind of removed ourselves from the rest of the natural world, and we've put ourselves higher, and we've come from a space of ego with nature, with Mother Earth, uh, with everything that's not a human. And then we even started doing that with humans and creating separation there by judging or thinking that we're better than another. And the more we have removed ourselves, the more we've given up our true power. And the more disconnected we've come from the rest of the system in which we are an intricate part of. And when we start listening to our hearts and when we start choosing to do what we love instead of what we think we need to be doing, when we start honoring that space within ourselves instead of the scarcity, fear based decision, I gotta do this in order to survive or everything's gonna fall apart, to completely different spaces. And you can shift in and out of those spaces like that. And those are called like states of being, right? There's a big difference between being in a state of fear, worry, survival, versus being in a space of abundance and trust and bliss, right? And that sounds almost impossible when you're in a space of like, how am I going to pay rent? If I don't come up with this money, I'm not going to be able to pay rent, and the power bill's due next week, and they didn't give me overtime this week. I don't know what I'm going to do. And it is like, I feel like that's the space in which most of us are operating from day to day, because we're uh, uh, society's really come to a point where that's what's being reflected all the time, and everybody's in this rat race to survive. And with that, cortisol is being produced. We're in high stress. All of our systems are being stressed. We're in fight or flight mode a lot, and we're not. It seems insane to sit down for 10 minutes and do nothing but breathe and be. That sounds insane. And if I'm gonna I've been working all day. I just want to sit on this couch and tune out and watch some TV. And when you tune out and you get into a relaxed brain states, and you're receiving programming from a TV, well, then all of a sudden, that's affecting your subconscious mind, whether you choose to be aware of it or not. Uh, our subconscious mind is taking in all information at all times, and even picking up stuff that your conscious mind isn't even aware of. There's so much information happening right now that our subconscious mind is taking in and has detailed record of, that we're not even conscious and aware of. In our sight, in our awareness, in our smell, um, unless we start honing in on and choosing to be conscious and aware of something and taking a greater focus into something, then we can become it's there. So if I'm looking at this pool over here, right, and I can just see the pool, but if I notice that little speck of leaf in there, and I all of a sudden hone my attention on the leaf, and I start looking at the pool again, I'm going to start seeing all the other leaves. Whereas if I didn't hone in and pay attention to that leaf, I would just see the pool, and I could just accept that there's a pool there, and that's in my field of awareness. And awareness is like that. Awareness, like, you're only gonna notice and see things that you choose to take your conscientious awareness to and focus on. And when you do that, then all of a sudden, your awareness is more finite, and you can broaden it in that finite, so that you're focusing on whatever you're focusing on a deeper level. And when you do that, then all of a sudden you become aware of all of the things and the information that is there. And you can only make choices based off of what you're aware of. And what you're aware of depends on how conscious you're choosing to be in the moment, and how much you're allowing that to expand. And the more you do that, the more, like, and then like, it doesn't matter how conscious you think you are. One moment focusing your attention on a fear or a doubt or a judgment, you're right back at, like, and you have to consciously choose to focus your attention somewhere else and elevate it. Otherwise, you find yourself being unconscious. And that's that up and down cycle, that's life. When we're learning and we're growing, and we are expanding our conscientious awareness, and as we do so, we're realizing the importance and value of connection, and of living your raw authentic truth, and accepting other people for where they're at, and not taking things personally. So we're all about promoting things like the Four Agreements, and uh, 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 tools that are dives into the self, because it's the only thing that I have control over is me, and where I'm holding my attention, and what I'm choosing to focus my attention on, and how I'm choosing to feel about it. And uh, it like, that's what I have control over. And so the more I can dive into myself and learn how I work and understand myself and understand my cycles, and how I can take a cycle and make a change, and create a slight little spiral or a wobble, right? And make another change, and then all of a sudden just start doing things differently, because I recognized a cycle that I could change and elevate. And so, anyway, today's topic, I wanted to talk about community, because I feel like every human being out there wants to feel a part of something, at a root level inside. I just I just feel like that's in our nature, to want to be valued, loved, and connected, and supported, and valued. And I feel like that's really what, at least my intention with this church is. Because I feel like every human being deserves to feel that. And when we're judging people, and when we're tearing people down, or when somebody isn't doing something the way that we would want to, it's really easy to get caught up and give your energy away to that, and be in a space of judgment. And if we're continually giving our energy away to other things outside of ourselves, we're never really owning our energy and owning our power. Because that's where it is where am I focusing my attention? Am I, because at any point in time, I can be Ananda, bliss. I am peace, love, happiness, bliss, and fulfillment. And if at any point in time I focus on what I'm grateful for, and all of the beauty in my life and all of the and uh yeah, at any moment in time you can be that. At any moment in time I can be that within myself. And the greater and greater you're able to do that, wow, like and I see the representation of Jesus being on the cross, nailed and being and coming from a space of love and coming from a space of uh, forgiveness and compassion. And then you think about the trials and challenges of your day and where you give your energy into anger or judgment or even toward yourself in shame. That's the in my opinion that's the worst one when people are really think our society breeds uh, like I think that in the past we've really uh, promoted shame and self-judgment because we're in competition with each other, and it's really easy to go inside and cut yourself short and make self-judgments and feel inadequate and compare yourself and where you're at to somebody else. And when you do that, you usually compare yourself to somebody greater and then feel like you're not good enough or you don't measure up. And uh, notice where, if you're operating from that space, notice where you're focusing your attention and on what. And how does that make you feel? And is that really where you want to be? Because I'm here to tell you at any moment in time you can shift your focus of attention and you can own your power and you can love yourself. And that's, we celebrate Love Fest Day pretty much once a month. It's every time the moon crosses Venus or comes closest to Venus in its cycle. And it was originally coined by an astrologer named Christopher Witecki that I've been watching and following for years. Um, but we celebrate loving yourself, taking time and space, one day out of every month, to give yourself love, to do something loving for yourself, whatever that is. Pamper yourself in some way. Consciously give yourself some love. Um, and do something that you love. Take time and space to do something that you love. And then the plus one, the take it higher is uh, take that love and spread it, right? And at least do 3 random or well thought out acts of kindness and reach out to 3 people that have deeply impacted your life and share your gratitude for how they've impacted your life. And we do this pretty much, it happens once a month. So that's one thing that we're all about, but that self-love practice is really what it's all about. And when you start focusing your attention on loving yourself and valuing yourself and seeing yourself as worthy, then all of a sudden um, everything's changing. And if something happens and you take something personally and you're feeling like all negative and you notice it and realize that at any point in time you can shift and step into and focus your attention somewhere else. And I feel like that's really powerful. And I think that it's really important to continue to raise my conscious awareness on where I'm giving my power, what I am choosing to focus on. Am I choosing to watch the news? Or am I choosing to go out and uh, spend some time on some grass and breathe and enjoy? Like, what am I, what am I choosing to do with my moment and my energy and how I'm feeling? What am I thinking about? So, uh, community is everything because everybody does want to feel loved, valued, worthy, connected. And we're all snowflakes. We're all very unique in all, like, we're so vast and we're so unique. And that's what makes us so special. And or, the more we honor that in ourselves, the more we honor that in others. And when we honor that in others, then all of a sudden that's what's being reflected. And in my opinion, that's the fastest way that we can start healing this world and connecting with one another. That and listening to one another and actually, like, listening. Not listening so that I can give you a response, but listening. And then sitting with what I heard and seeing how many different perspectives I can view that from so that I can gain awareness of the thought process and the emotions and the history behind it so that I can understand truly what's being said and and then be able to have a conversation. When we're really listening to one another, we're listening not only with our ears, but we're listening with our hearts. We're We're there to learn and experience um, where another is at so that we can connect on deeper levels. And that's powerful. So, um, anyway, we are meeting today uh, for the first time uh, on a new video platform that has so graciously blessed us with being our first corporate sponsor. So grateful to everyone at Mingle that is providing this platform for us to have uh, much more real life interaction, video interaction. Um, so uh, you we'll post the thing in the links, or maybe if Erin is on, she can put a comment up of the link to our Mingle. And we're going to start doing this every week. I'm going to be broadcasting from there probably, and then streaming live from our YouTube channel. Not sure how that's going to work yet, but we'll figure it out. But I am stoked to start gathering on there after my videos, after my lives, and because this is an opportunity for us to have a worldwide community inside of a Mingle suite where we can join other clusters and have real deep conversations and really start building community on a global level. You know, unlike anything I feel like I've ever experienced before. So, if you're interested in fire and flow, fire spinning, flow arts, uh, you know, if you're interested in love and you're interested about the topic of love and how we can spread love and how we can be love and how we can, like, accept love, and, like, if you're into that, uh, we have a temple for it. We have a temple for fire and flow. We have a temple, and when I say temples, it's both online, and we're going to be creating mobile venues that we will be going to festivals with and sharing as uh, interactive theme camps that are very much the embodiment of each of the seeds of flame. And so we got fire, love, art, if you're into art, and if you're into how art can affect culture and really create beautiful conversations and uh, yeah, if you're into art, whether that's performance art, uh, paintings, sculptures, uh, uh, there's a lot of art out there. And art, in my opinion, is a it's a godlike act. It's the closest thing that we can get to God, in my opinion, here on planet Earth, outside of right, like within the act of creation, and then so that all everybody else can view and have their own perspective of somebody else's creation. That is grand. And that can move people. These are all things that move people. These are all things that ignite and create connection. And they are valuable. I mean, it's art is so precious. And then music, right? I mean, think of what music does. Think of how different pieces of music make you feel, and how you know one piece of music can like really make people feel a lot of similar ways and really touch uh, on so many levels within our being, because we are vibrational beings. We are electronical circuit boards of grand nature that with multiple systems working simultaneously together. And I mean, subconsciously, like it's all just happening. However, I can shift my awareness and focus on and become more and more aware of what is happening, what is like, and that's all about where you shift, where you hold your focus of attention and practice, right? Everything the It doesn't matter what you focus your attention on. If you keep on focusing your attention on it, and you keep on doing it, and you practice, and you do it, and you do it, and you do it, you're gonna get better and better and better at it. And all of a sudden, what did didn't even make sense or seem possible, 5 years ago, because you kept on focusing your attention, all of a sudden now it's a part of your reality because you've learned and grown and evolved, and all of a sudden now you're aware of all of these things because you had 5 years of doing it every day. So it doesn't matter, rather that be learning how to spin a staff, or focusing my attention on a judgment I have about myself and something that I feel inadequate about, that I'm judging myself for every day. Whatever you're doing every day is your practice. Whatever I am doing every day is my practice. And I can shift what my practice is at any moment in time, any day, and then all I gotta do is keep on keeping on. And so, like, really, it's an invitation to come get involved with us if any of this resonates. Oh, I'm gonna get through this, and then I'll see you in Mingle in moments. But I'm gonna. Then we got the Temple of Equality, the Seed of Equality, and like I said, everything's set up in the seed of life pattern, and it extends out into the flower of life pattern as we sprout up new seeds in outside communities, more communities. The geometry just replicates, and everybody looks to the mother seed for inspiration and guidance and support and like connection too, because the more we're working together, the more we're elevating one another, the more we're sharing different modalities and thought processes and having open discussions and learning from one another versus uh, judging and shutting ourselves off from one another. Yeah, we're not interested in any of that. Um, and uh, it doesn't need to be a part of my world. And if it does come into my world, then it's this beautiful opportunity for me to navigate that successfully while maintaining my equanimity and my balance and uh, going back to what focusing my attention on something that is serving my highest good and serving like my joy and honoring my heart. Yeah. So, uh, equality. We're all equal. And equality seems like such a far-fetched word for people. And that's because it's been programmed into our human nature over thousands of years to compare ourselves with one another and see other people's strengths that are our weaknesses and hold them higher than us. And by doing so, we're giving our power away. And the truth is we're all so special. So special. And we all serve different purposes for one another, and we're all blessings to each other. And it's rather not we're open to the gifts and blessings that are in front of us, and how we're choosing to interact with them, and how we're choosing to interact with ourselves to create that reflection. Because uh, we're all co-creating this whole reality. We are creators, and we are powerful beyond most people's current imagination. And rather not, there's, you know, degrees of conscientious awareness of, um, from moment to moment, of where I'm holding my power, what I'm giving my attention to, what I, what am I choosing to see as impossible, and what am I choosing to see as endless possibilities and openness, and just focusing on my moment. Anyway, uh, and equality is something that I feel when we really start to love and value ourselves, we start to love and value others on much deeper levels. And as we start connecting from that space and interacting from that space, then all of a sudden we start seeing how, how we're all blessings to one another, especially when we're elevating and being in service to one another. Yeah. So, and then sustainability. We get to create lots of new options and lots of new thought processes and lots of new ways of doing things uh, to really create sustainability for all life on planet Earth. And with that comes really shifting some of our perspectives as a society, and really shifting our perspective on our relationship with the rest of nature, with the rest of the world, with the rest of the cosmos. Uh, yeah. And so, if any of this resonates with you and the change that you would like to see on the planet, let's rock out together. Come get involved. In fact, you don't need to be a member of the church in order to get involved and team up and rock out with us. We've like what we're all about is co-creation, elevation, and taking it higher and listening to one another and expanding loving awareness and compassion and releasing shame and judgment and really exploring from an open space. Like let's create, let's co-create and be and shift and let that ripple out. Yeah. So, I'll see you guys on Mingle. I'm headed there now. There should probably be some people on there at the current moment. So, have a beautiful week. Uh, if this resonates, hit the like button, subscribe, uh, and reach out. Let's get involved. Namaste.